Read The Power of Being Alone. Zai, understanding the strength of solitude. Being alone is often misunderstood. Many people confuse being alone with being lonely, but these two experiences are completely different. Loneliness is a feeling of emptiness that comes from a lack of connection, while being alone is a state of presence with yourself. When you learn to be alone without fear, you unlock one of the greatest sources of personal power. Solitude becomes a space where you meet your true self, without noise, without pressure, and without expectations from the world. In a society that constantly celebrates noise, attention, and validation, choosing to be alone feels uncomfortable at first. We are taught that happiness comes from being surrounded by people, from constant interaction, and from approval. But real strength is built in silence. When you sit alone, your mind begins to speak honestly. You start hearing thoughts you have been avoiding. This is not weakness, this is awareness. Awareness is the first step toward growth. The power of being alone lies in clarity. When you remove distractions, you see your life as it truly is. You understand what you want, what you fear, and what you need to change. Most people stay busy not because they are productive, but because they are afraid of facing themselves. Solitude forces you to confront your reality, and that confrontation shapes character. Being alone teaches independence. When you stop relying on others for constant emotional support, you learn how strong you truly are. You realize that you can survive difficult moments on your own. You learn how to calm your mind, how to motivate yourself, and how to stand firm even when no one is cheering for you. This inner independence builds unshakable confidence. Solitude is where discipline is born. Without external pressure, you either grow or waste time. When no one is watching, your habits reveal your true character. Being alone gives you the chance to build routines, focus deeply, and work on goals without interruption. This focused effort compounds over time and leads to mastery. Many great thinkers, leaders, and creators discovered their power in solitude. Their best ideas were born in quiet moments. Creativity thrives when the mind is free from noise. When you are alone, your imagination expands, your thoughts connect, and your ideas deepen. Solitude is not empty, it is full of potential. Being alone also strengthens emotional intelligence. You learn to process emotions instead of escaping them. You understand why you feel angry, sad, or afraid. Instead of reacting impulsively, you respond thoughtfully. This emotional maturity improves every relationship in your life because you no longer depend on others to regulate your emotions. One of the greatest lessons of being alone is self-acceptance. When you spend time with yourself, you begin to accept who you are without masks. You stop pretending. You stop performing. You start respecting yourself. Self-respect is the foundation of self-worth, and self-worth leads to inner peace. Silence reveals truth. In quiet moments, you realize which relationships are real and which are based on convenience. You understand your values. You discover what matters and what does not. This clarity protects you from toxic attachments and meaningless distractions. Being alone is not about pushing people away. It is about strengthening yourself so that when you connect with others, you do so from a place of wholeness. Strong relationships are formed by individuals who are complete on their own. Solitude prepares you for healthier connections. Fear often appears when you are alone. Old memories, regrets, and doubts rise to the surface, but facing these fears is necessary. What you face loses power over you. Solitude turns fear into understanding and weakness into wisdom. The power of being alone is the power of self-leadership. When you can guide yourself, motivate yourself, and correct yourself, you no longer need constant direction from others. You become your own anchor. This self-leadership creates resilience in uncertain times. In solitude, you stop seeking validation. You realize that approval from others is temporary, but self-belief is permanent. When your confidence comes from within, no criticism can break you. This inner stability is true freedom. Being alone teaches patience. Growth takes time. Healing takes time. Success takes time. Solitude allows you to slow down and trust the process. You stop rushing your journey and start respecting it. Ultimately, solitude is not isolation. It is preparation. It prepares your mind, strengthens your heart, and sharpens your purpose. When you understand this, being alone becomes a privilege, not a punishment. Seen using solitude to build a powerful life. Once you understand the value of being alone, the next step is learning how to use it wisely. Solitude should be intentional, not accidental. Create time to be alone, free from distractions. Turn off unnecessary noise and give yourself space to think, reflect, and plan. Start by building a relationship with your mind. Observe your thoughts without judgment. Not every thought deserves your attention. Solitude helps you separate useful thoughts from harmful ones. This mental clarity improves decision-making and reduces anxiety. Use alone time to define your goals. Write them down. Visualize your future. Ask yourself honest questions about where you are and where you want to be. Without clarity, effort is wasted. Solitude gives direction to ambition. Develop self-discipline during solitude. Create routines that support your growth. Read, exercise, learn new skills, and reflect daily. These habits strengthen your mind and body. Discipline built in solitude becomes strength displayed in public. Solitude is also a time for healing. Past wounds cannot be ignored forever. When you allow yourself to feel, you allow yourself to heal. Healing does not mean forgetting. It means understanding and releasing pain. Solitude creates the space for this process. Learn to enjoy your own company. When you can sit alone without distraction, you gain peace. This peace is not dependent on circumstances. It stays with you even in chaos. Inner peace is one of the greatest achievements of a disciplined life. Use solitude to build self-trust. Keep promises to yourself. Do what you say you will do, and even when no one is watching. This integrity strengthens confidence. Self-trust removes fear of failure because you know you can rely on yourself. Solitude enhances creativity and problem solving. When challenges arise, alone time allows you to analyze situations calmly. Instead of reacting emotionally, you respond strategically. This clarity leads to better outcomes in both personal and professional life. Balance solitude with connection. Being alone does not mean avoiding people. It means choosing quality over quantity. When you value your time, you choose relationships that respect your growth. Healthy boundaries protect your energy. Spiritual growth often begins in solitude. In silence, you reflect on meaning, values, and purpose. You realize that life is more than constant activity. This deeper understanding creates gratitude and humility. Solitude builds resilience. When life becomes difficult, you are not afraid to stand alone. You have faced yourself before, and you know your strength. This resilience allows you to move forward even when support is limited. Use solitude to reset your mindset. Negative patterns can be replaced with positive beliefs. Reflection helps you identify limiting beliefs and transform them into empowering ones. This mental shift changes how you experience life. Solitude also teaches gratitude. When you step away from comparison, you appreciate your journey. Gratitude grows naturally in quiet reflection. A grateful mindset improves mental health and emotional stability. As you grow comfortable with solitude, your confidence becomes quiet but powerful. You no longer need to prove yourself. Your actions speak. Your presence becomes calm and grounded. The power of being alone is the power of preparation. It prepares you for leadership, for success, and for meaningful relationships. When you master solitude, you master yourself. In the end, being alone is not about separation. It is about connection with your inner world. From this connection comes clarity, strength, and purpose. When you learn to be alone, you become unstoppable. Embrace solitude. Use it wisely. Let it shape you. The strongest people are not those who are always surrounded by others, but those who can stand alone and still move forward with confidence and peace.